All right, y'all.
I want to welcome everyone to the Virginia Democrats' first quarterly meeting. And I would ask you all to stand so that we can be led in the pledge by our own superintendent.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank everyone for making the effort to attend. This is the toughest meeting to get folks to attend this first quarter meeting. But I want to thank everyone for making this effort to attend, particularly my colleagues in the General Assembly that are here today. Because you all have been working every day. And you could take a day off, but you chose to be here with us. How beautiful. Maybe you missed me. Next, we're gonna go to Angsara to do the roll call.
Oh, I do, don't I?
That's people.
If it'll power, oh, it won't power up.
We'll switch.
There we go. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. From the
No problem.
so from the this may be the last time some of you all are representing these particular numbers. So let's make this a rip-roaring report from the first CD, Diane Carter DeMayo.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. My Democratic friends from Virginia's first district, where democracy started, from the colonial capital to our current capital, home of our governor, our lieutenant governor, and I just want to say we sent more people to the General Assembly than any other district. I'm just we are happy to be here with 7 members.
Thank you, Diane. Is there anybody new since the last meeting?
He's already on the sheet though. We want to add Robert Wilbanks from Jesus. Here's how Middlesex.
Middlesex County, Robert Wilbanks from Middlesex, awesome. From the second CD, Sandra Brandt.
Yes, we did.
On April 21st. Changes being in the congressional district. Second congressional district from Virginia Beach all the way across to the east shore, all the way across to the North Carolina line. We have 4 individuals here this morning, Mr. Chair and Mr. Secretary, and other members. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. From the third CD, Charlie Stanton.
Good morning, my fellow Democrats. How are you feeling? Third congressional district encompasses the urban core of Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Hampton, and Newport News. And once we stop guessing and vote yes, we will have a very Republican city of Pocosa. To the third congressional district, and we look forward to finding a new member for the talk today. But with that said, we have 3 present. I know several are will be here, so I want to offer that subject to change very short.
And any new members, Charlie?
Oh, no, and we are
Perfect. From the fourth CD, Alexis Rock, or I'm sorry, Senator Aaron.
Yeah, on behalf of our amazing chairwoman and my capacity as vice chair, we have 8 members from the Fighting Fourth here, and we are adding new members the Honorable Ray Cousins,
Hello.
Supervisor Cameron Drew, and the New Petersburg Democratic Committee Chairman, Paul Mullen.
Thank you both of you. From the fifth CD, and maybe after April, I'll be joining you, Patricia Harper Tunley.
Good morning from the big CD, the fourth fifth. We're have 5 members with us, and as stated, we have them some on the way as well. And we do not have any new members as of today, but as of April 21st. We very well
From the sixth CD, Kim Crump.
For being troublemakers in the 6th district, finally catch up with us in the back row back here. So, maybe so, we're excited to be here this morning. We have 8 strong with us. Also, we're doing a lot of rebel rousing in the 6th. You guys look up the Page County billboard. That's a lot of fun to look at. And Page County did have strong voting yesterday, and we are ready to roll. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. From the seventh CD, Matt Rowe.
Maybe the last time, but we'll see. The Super 7 CD. We have 5 people with us today, but we want to celebrate our successes that we had as a 7 CD for the past couple of years. We re-elected Abigail Spanberger, which ran for in a new district. We elected her to amendment to an open seat. We have Democrats in the House delegates all the way from the Pentagon to down to the state fair. You drive down 95, it's all Democratic districts in the House of Delegates. And we'll do that in the Senate next year. We took 1 new general. We lost our member of the General Assembly, but don't worry about that. Anything is now the Secretary of the Commonwealth. Delegate Brianna Sewell.
Yeah.
From the eighth CD, Margot Horner. Or I'm sorry, Pete Becker.
Good morning, Virginia Democrat. I'm filling in for Margo this morning. I'm filling in for Margo, who's doing some really important work back in Arlington today. But good morning, everyone, and thanks for having us here. 8th District is home to our House Caucus Chair, Kathy Tran. Home to our House Leader, Charnel Herring. Home to our Senate Leader, Scott Suroville. Home to our great Congressman, Don Beyer. Home to our senior U.S. Senator, Mark Warner. Vice Chair of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and a steadfast protector of our democracy. Yeah. We're so happy to support him. 8th District would like to thank every precinct captain and volunteer who worked hard last year in this historic election. And the 8th District Democrats were so proud to be in Richmond earlier this year at the inauguration of Governor Abigail Spanberger, Lieutenant Governor Gisela Hotchkiss, and our Attorney General Jay Jones. We are 100% focused right now on the Vote Yes redistricting campaign. With that being said, Mr. Secretary, we have 10 people present and 1 new member. We'd like to welcome Fatima Dandashi from Fairfax. She's will be replacing Nellie Semenigo.
Thank you. From the Fighting Ninth, Rebecca Daly.
Our big goal last year is to get that party ready. Oh, yeah. A person joined the We currently have candidates on the ballot, every race, 1 house of delegates, 1 state census. Just want you to know, this will be the biggest district. Our logo says, fight nights, fight back, we vote yes on 10.
Last thing I have to say is we may be good. We'll pick the group post. Seth Baker, David Driver, Lauren Oliver, and Ron Miller.
The 10 CD, Zach Prokowski.
Good morning. Yeah, we have 11 members here. Maybe the first time we've most. Yeah, so we have 11 members here. And we have more on the doors because it is a weekend of action up in Northern Virginia to get people out to vote yes. So we got a couple folks who are running campuses or handing out signs. We've also got 2 new members who are here. Annika Rahman is the new chair of DAP. And we've got Mary, who is the Lyman Dems treasurer, who is who just got elected to the vacancy. So.
And last but certainly not least, the 11th CD, Manisha Singh.
Good morning. New but amazing Tim Spock and Sean, and way ahead of CD7, we have all of our senators and delegates who are Democrats. We have one lone Republican in our district who will soon get rid of. Acting chairman, Steve Baker from CD8. I'm going to reclaim Kathy Tran because she's CD11, chair of the House Caucus. We are 9 strong today and no new members. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And with that, I would seek a motion from the floor to approve the 12 new members as named by the CD chairs.
Second.
Heard a motion. I'm going to take it from Gayleen. I heard a second from. There we are. And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Welcome aboard to the show that never ends, and just wait, because in 3 months, you might be in a new seat.
All right, thank you guys again. Now we will, you all have, the agenda and seek a motion to adopt the agenda. There's a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. All those in favor express by saying aye. Those opposed? The agenda is adopted. The minutes from last meeting will be adopted at the next meeting. And we will move on to the chair's report, which has first a General Assembly update. And I was thinking to myself, I wasn't talking to myself. I was thinking to myself, we have a number of members from the General Assembly here today. So what I want to do is play a reindeer game. If I can get all of the members from the General Assembly to come up. And the podium, I think the microphone is working, so if you all can step to the podium. You all never trust me. And what I want to do is 2 things. If you can step to the mic, make sure everyone knows your name, LaSharice Air. And then that mic, see if that mic is on. My seatmate, y'all.
Testing.
No. Okay.
Wait a minute. Do we all need to?
Yeah, thank you. And what I want you all to do is to, I'm gonna pass you this mic. What I want you to do is to share 2 pieces of legislation. 1, your favorite piece of legislation. 2, a piece of legislation that's not yours, that you're really fond of.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I am LaSharice Aird, and I have the great pleasure of serving at the pleasure of the chairman, Lamont Bagby. He is my seatmate. He tells me what to do every single day. No, in all seriousness, it's my pleasure to be with you all this morning. I serve in this capacity as vice chair of 4th CD, but also I represent a a number of diverse localities here in Senate District 13. To answer the question, my favorite piece of legislation is probably Senate Bill 3, which is going to allow us to establish a child care consortium between employers, workers, and the state so that we can get increased access and affordable child care in the hands of more Virginians. That is already headed to the governor's desk to be signed. My second favorite piece of legislation, I'm going to name my dear friend, Delegate Marcia Price. She's been fighting for housing protections for many, many, many years, and she is finally, after the third attempt, has legislation on the way to the governor that will put more protections in place for renters and those individuals who are in vulnerable housing circumstances. I will now pass it off to who's the next senior? Yes, Delegate Brianna Sewell.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Delegate Brianna Sewell and the newest member to the 7CD. As previously shared, I have the great fortune and trouble of trying to fill the shoes of Secretary Candy Munden King, but I'm so excited to be here with you all today. My favorite piece of legislation that I'm carrying is House Bill 1207, which will establish a statewide paid family and medical leave program. Because we know no family should have to face financial insecurity when life happens. And this ensures that our hardworking families will be able to keep a roof over their head, food on their table, and access to quality health care while they are dealing with life circumstances. So I'm exceptionally excited about that. I also want to make sure that people know that we also are passing legislation. So we have paid sick leave that is also going to become law this year. So that is thank you. Senator Boyfield in the Senate and Delegate Kelly Converse Fowler's in the House. So no matter what life circumstances will be, we will be able to support our hard workers while also being great place and state for business in the process.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ray Cousins. I represent the 79th District, which is located here in Richmond. Technically, we're sitting in Betsy Carr's district, but I love her too. So my favorite piece of legislation that I'm carrying is, and I've not memorized the House numbers because there's so much, but it's an inclusionary zoning bill that will give localities the option to implement inclusionary zoning programs to develop more affordable housing. So I'm really excited about that one. And then I would say, I was going to list Delegate Marcia Price's housing legislation as well, but I mean, I think one of my favorite pieces of legislation is House Bill 1, which will increase the minimum wage. Really excited about that. I know that Delegate Jawan Ward has been working on that for years, and so to see that across the finish line this year will be amazing. So thank you. Happy to be here with you all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, my name is Kanan Srinivasan. I'm a state senator from District 32 in Loudoun County. So proud member of the very proud member of the 10 CD. Mr. Chairman, this is a tough choice to choose one bill from the others because I can choose one favorite from my list. But there are so many other good bills that are going to the General Assembly. And every one of you should be so proud of the hard work and the dedication and the passion you showed, because by the end of this session, by mid-April, when the governor signs these bills, we are going to be so proud that we are going to move the needle so significantly. Remember, last year I think the prior governor had 420 vetoes or something like that. Just think about that. Think about the change that's happening. We have the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general. So my bill, Senate Bill 72, is one of my favorites. It will direct Dominion and Appalachian Power to give weatherization benefits to 30% of people who are eligible because of income. That is projected to save $600 to $1,400 per year to those families. Just think about affordability. And that's one of my favorite bills. Number two, it's very hard because there's so many good bills. Just go look through them. I'm going to say our 3 constitutional amendments. Think about it. Because the hard work that we put in for years and years. There are 4, of course. But the three that we worked, now we have a fourth one, of course. We are going to pass it on April 21st. But the four constitutional amendments, the three that we worked hard, the four that we added now, those four are my favorites because we fought for it. We fought for fairness. We fought for, the right thing. I mean, think about it. We were the only state, we're still the only state until we passed the constitutional amendment on voting rights. That's embarrassing. The only state in the country. And that will all change. Thanks all to your hard work. Thank you again.
I want to thank you all again for making it the trip over to hang out with us today. And I think most of you know what my favorite piece of legislation is. It's the Sunday voting. And I will say Sunday voting, as Srinivasan and Eric know, that was a bill that wasn't a bill when we came into session. And we were just in caucus talking about Sunday voting. And then we said, we need to put a bill in. And it's great when you have a trifecta like this, because you don't have to think about it as much and you don't have to work it as much. Everybody's on one accord. And so we've had so much come before us in that fashion this session, and the way that we are approaching our work with our universities and restructuring these universities and making sure the infiltration that happened at our college institutions like we did under the Youngkin administration doesn't happen again. And so thank you all for helping us get here and making this trifecta a reality. Next, I want to make sure that everyone here knows and mark your calendars that June 27th is going to be the Blue Commonwealth Gala at the Marriott. I hope that everyone will be there. We're going to be working hard to make it a successful event, as I know you all will as well. But mark your calendars, June 27th for the Marriott Blue Commonwealth Gala. Do we have it? Oh, yes. I do also want to take a moment and thank Caroline. Would you come up here for a minute? And where's Sierra? Sierra back there? Ginger didn't make it. Is Sierra back there? Just yell, Sierra.
Just yell.
Okay, yeah, come on. Is Ginger back there? Can you get Ginger?
Everybody back them out.
Perfect. So as you all know, we've had some turnover on staff. And it's nice that they still come and help us out on our quarterly meetings and show up and support the party. But I do want to express how grateful I am of not only the current staff, but these people that used to work here, and say thank you. And we have a gift for Caroline.
Thank you.
And we were thinking about a gift for Sierra and Ginger as well, but I'm gonna tell their business, y'all. Both of them had good weeks with their new jobs. Apparently, they're doing great jobs, and the teams that they're working for now have recognized how great they are, and it's a proud moment when you can see folks leave the the Democratic Party of Virginia and go on to do great things. And it happens time and time again. If you look at that tree that comes from folks that come from the DPVA, is a long history of them going on and succeeding. And so I do want to give them flowers in front of you and ask you all to give them a round of applause. Caroline.
Thank you.
Actually, tell them where you went.
Oh,
I went to the Department of Corrections for a job, not a sentence. And I know I just came up with that on my feet. Working in the director's office, and I am very excited to be there, and I'm actually going out on maternity leave in a month, so. Many of you know my loud husband Jake Rubenstein, and we have a little one running around in a month, so. Thank you again for having me.
I am now over at Two Capitals Consulting, so Sierra, I'm Sierra. So I'm now over at Two Capitals Consulting with a great team, and I see most of you in the front row in the General Assembly almost every day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ginger. I'm working with McGuire Woods Consulting with the Virginia State Government Relations team. So, but I do miss what I thought.
You know, as I think about it, it's also nice, thank you all. It's also nice, I mean, there's a lot of niceties once you win. And to see a lot of individuals have an opportunity to take new jobs in the administration is just awesome. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's just great that because of the work that you all did, there's a lot of individuals that are starting their careers off in spaces that they would not have the opportunity had not we won. And so with that, there's a couple other things that I will chime in on, but our executive director is going to lead the conversation up. And so I'll pass it on to Chris Bowman for the directors.
Thank you. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm gonna try and be fast today. But you just saw the 3 people we lost. It took us a little while, but we have hired 2 additional people who I thought were in the room. They're right there. But tell them, come on, we're gonna embarrass them too. So we hired a political director and a deputy political director, and they became official last night. So a round of applause. Oh, listen, just hear me very clearly. I love when you all call me. If you have the thing that you're like, I don't want to call Chris with this, you can. But if it's really bad, absolutely call them first. Call both of them if you want to. I promise we'll make this way to me. Happy to have them. We have a little more capacity. I know I haven't always been able to get everybody immediately. Between the 3 of us, I think we can be responsive at a higher rate at this point. We're appreciative. I owe some people some stuff. The good senator from Petersburg, Henrico, and a lot of other places, I owe her some stuff. But I promise we're working on it. So we're happy to have our new political team here, and y'all can disagree now. Thank you. I'm supposed to give you staff update. I don't want to read you a bunch of bullet points, so I'm not going to. I would much rather do this. So there's a couple things in the room. One I did last night is staring, I'll do it again. Trent Wayne has been incredibly helpful to us this week. We have been able to we/DNC/Tram/Virginians for fair elections it looks like we're going to be able to stand up a voter protection program for April 21st, which I'm doing so much better. I used to cuss at these, and I don't anymore. Like I assume it's because I have a daughter. Like I'm doing good. Yeah. I'm trying. Standing up a voter protection program in this shorter period of time for something that is happening as quickly as this is happening is incredibly difficult. And the fact that we are likely to be able to pull it off is like honestly a minor miracle. And then we're going to turn around and do it again, which will ultimately be helpful to us. So thank you, Tram. There's a bunch of other folks who worked on a bunch of stuff. The hotline was down. The hotline is now working. It was working before early vote started. Bit of a headache. It was a heck of a Thursday, but it all worked out, and we are very excited about that. And then lastly, last night we had a lively and spirited discussion about certificates of insurance for local committees. It was a man, the fact that that is the thing that gets like the church hymns. It's great. We had a lively discussion about certificates of insurance. I will present it to you in this way. We are going to figure out a solution on COIs. I don't know how good or how bad the solution will be, but we will have a solution. They will be available to folks. It's just a matter of us figuring out what that looks like and how we limit the administrative burden, quite frankly, which I hadn't thought a ton about. Because I heard the money number and to be honest with you, threw me back a little bit. So we're figuring out how to make that work for everybody. We created a working group last night to sort of focus on it. And we're going to try to turn this around quickly because right now we do not have access to the COIs for local committees. And we will not have access until we come to a solution and then find a company that can offer said solution. So we are going to try to turn this around very quickly because we understand, I think Harry mentioned last night, in places like Chesterfield, for instance, they host their meetings at Chesterfield County Public Schools and they can't even host their meetings without a COI. So we are going to try and turn this around very quickly so that we can have this problem solved. Bit of a headache that we didn't know was coming, working on fixing it and think we will have something done. I hope no later than 2 weeks, and then we can get something out of the door. To those who were at steering last night and requested that we pull how many events were requested last year, Megan did a great job and she pulled 2025 and 2024 last night. In 2024, there were 52 events. In 2025, there were 75 events. I would imagine that the 2026 number would exceed 75. It doesn't seem like a thing where we're going to do less. So honestly, the individual event determination does not sound like an amazing answer. So we'll circle back and figure out how to deal with the bigger one with everybody else. Did you want to chime in on that one? No, sir. This is 23. Wait, I did that 3 something, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, I did the same thing. I appreciate you all very much. I am very happy to be back sitting on this stage in the very odd auditorium that does not have good lighting. And I will give it back to the chair.
Thank you, Chris. And now I think I'll pass it back to Chris for the treasurer's report. Treasurer Abby Easton away with her grandbaby, so.
Okay, hey, so from January 1st through March 1st, the party generated $271,317 in core income, with core expenses totaling up to $287,159. For those of you who know, this is probably the hardest time of the year to raise money. So the fact that our net negative is just a little under 16,000 is actually a big win. So excited about that. Digital fundraising makes up a significant portion of this income we received this quarter. A large part of the program has been focused on joint fundraising, which has been incredibly helpful. Generating a sizable amount of the income as usual. Van purchases also account for a good portion of the revenue here. The executive director, Chris Bowling, loves redistricting. Not only because we're going to pick up a bunch of congressional seats, but we've sold so much more van to people and been having more pleased about it. For a few reasons. One, it is revenue for the party, but secondly, it is one of the reasons why we love the van so much is like all of that data gets fed back in and informs the models that drive a lot of stuff. So like ours being updated as often as it is by so many people is like a massive win. Quite frankly, we have the best one in the country and people buy it from us all the time. And we have the luxury of saying no when the deal is not good because so much good work gets done by folks who buy the van. So highly appreciative of both the money and the work that goes into the van. Our current cash on hand is approximately $411,153.47. My favorite line every quarterly meeting. We are pleased to report the financial state of the party is strong heading into quarter 2.
Thank you. Next, we will go to our first vice chair or organization, Haley.
Are we fired up? You're a little quiet in here. Come on, y'all, come on. That's right. We're now, who moved my cheese moment right now? And so, I just want to thank all of our congressional district chairs, our local chairs, that helped with the reorganization of our local committees. Can we have all of our new chairs to please stand up? Any new chairs in here? All right, all right. A round of applause. Thank you for stepping up to the plate. Well, we've been busy. We meet every Monday. And then on the third Monday is when the chairs, they have their meetings. But we meet because there's so much happening right now. And we got to make sure everyone is on the same page. And right before the election, right after redistricting, we knew it was coming. We got all the CD chairs together and they started meeting to talk about how a reorg is going to look like, because we knew that it was going to be a lot happening at one time. And they came together with the help of Mark, our rules chair, and some others. And we had several meetings after meetings. Matt Rowe was helpful, very helpful. And then they came up with the idea of having the reorg in first quarter so that we can maintain and win redistricting on April 21st. And that was a big feat, but that was something that we had to do. But I also want to thank Tram Nguyen. Where's Tram? Right here. Tram is our new, what did I say? I think it was Sandra that said it. You know, you are new Frank Leon with voter protection. And I'm gonna tell you, she was on our chair's call. She explained redistricting. The legal part of it, that no one else could talk about it, but she could. And to make sure that everyone was real clear about it. Because it's a lot of confusion. And that's why I came up with don't guess, vote yes. Because we can't have that. We can't have no guessing. She's been very instrumental, along with, the Virginians for Virginians for fair elections. Now, the opposition have Virginia for fair elections. Let's not get that confused. They're close to ours, and when you Google it, theirs might come up first. But we know we're the vote yes. We're the vote yes people. By me being back on the DNC now and ASDC, I'm being able to bring resources back into our local committees. And we have speakers that come on. So we had the Democrats Abroad chair come in and talk about what they do abroad and bringing votes into Virginia, which they bought a lot of votes in the last November. And I just got an email this morning from them that said they're helping us with redistricting. I'm excited that I was able to ask the Texas state chair, Kendall Scudder to come to the Rural Caucus retreat, and he'll be there in May. And then don't forget, at the end of this month, we have the Virginia Young Democrats conference as well. Also, yes, and you can still get your tickets and be a sponsor. One of the things about this is that one thing that I'm really trying to push is that this redistricting is not just a Democratic thing. It's nonpartisan. Yes. We have to step outside of our box, and we have to speak to these other organizations, make sure they have materials. We can take that D off. This is about people. This is about all of us. The Democrats are about people. But we got to make sure that we reach these non-traditional organizations to make sure they understand what redistricting is all about. And so we're voting for the rest of the year, y'all, with the exception of June and December. Okay? So we're voting now until April 21st. And then we're going to pick it up in July for an early vote for the primary. And then we're going to pick it up again in the middle of September for November 3rd. So this is a package deal. It's not a one-off. Okay? So just get telling everybody they're going to be voting on for the rest of the year. You're going to be voting. So we got to tell everyone that. So I just want to make sure that we keep that really clear. And I just want to leave with one thing left. We just lost a civil rights leader last month. Keep hope alive. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from our Vice Chair for Rules and Resolutions, Ross.
All right, thank you, Chair Bagby. So I just wanted to give everybody a very quick update on what I've been up to, and I do promise to keep it under 2 minutes, which for someone who spends a lot of time reading governing documents is genuinely a challenge. So I've been busy in a few areas. The biggest chunk of my work has been in bylaws compliance, and I've been working with can you hear me? Well, all right, I'll have to. All right, so are you sure this isn't too loud? All right. All right, sorry. Yeah, so you know, the biggest chunk of my work has been in bylaws compliance, and I've been working with a lot of local committees to going through their governing documents and checking them against the party plan. It's ongoing work, and we're making some real progress. I've also been fielding a steady flow of procedural questions from local committees, CD chairs, and party leaders from across the state. You know, people are asking more questions, which, you know, I take as a good sign. I've been doing some longer term work on the party plan itself, looking at places where the language could be stronger or clearer. More to come on that as it develops. Bottom line is I'm active, I'm here to help, and I'm told that occasionally pleasant to deal with. You know, if you have any questions about governing documents or party plan procedures, please don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you.
Thank you, and I want to thank you again, Mark, and getting both for the 90 or 60 days we've had trying to figure all this out and sort of working through redistricting and making sure that we're setting ourselves up for success not only throughout this year but heading into next year. And so thank you too for leading the way and all those here that assisted us in that preparation. The next thing was to introduce the new members of the staff, but we've done that. And it's also let you know that Blue Commonwealth again is June 27th. And that will be, the Blue Commonwealth Gala will be June 27th. But as you know, we will have our steering committee meeting and a kickoff reception on the 26th. We are trying to build this again as a weekend. And I probably can run through all the activities, but I want to make sure that everyone plans, hopefully, will plan to be here on the 26th, and we will hopefully get Tim Kaine to do our Rural Caucus event again to end it on Sunday, and so that from the goal for me is always from Friday to Sunday to have an event so that you all don't have to pay for any meals. If you have an event for every meal, then you don't have to make arrangements to go have meals because you will have plenty of opportunities to be nourished, nourishment in the city of Richmond. And I don't believe we have anything else. And I don't see Chris. I'm reluctant to end the meeting. Okay, oh yeah, come on up. Matt has recorded reports.
Hey, everybody, I don't think this is on. Hello, can you hear me?
Hold it left button down.
No, it's the system back there to shut off.
That shut up?
Yeah.
Can you hear me if I can talk like this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, the microphone's busted. Yeah, anyway. So Hey, everybody, Matt Royer. I'm the former VAYD chair. I also serve as the Southern Region representative for the TNC Youth Council, but I also was appointed by our vice chair, Ricardo Alfaro, to our technology working group for DPVA. So first, I want to briefly address the growing role of our artificial intelligence tools that work in our environments. AI platforms can be extremely helpful if you're using it to draft things like text. But it also can be very harmful and extremely hard to secure when you're dealing with sensitive data. So please do not use sensitive information, including donor data, voter information, membership information, and any PII or personal identifiable information when you are using those, because those can be exposed to bad actors. Additionally, there has been an uptick in the use by GOP accounts of AI generated videos, like Loudoun County's Republican committee posting on Twitter all the time, especially deceptive generative AI videos. First off, as this increases in sophistication, please be vigilant and know what you are looking at online. There have been a number of folks who have shared either misinformation or disinformation thinking it was real. Please make sure that you are double checking that, because not only does that confuse people, it also makes our committees look bad. Secondly, we discourage people from using those generative AI and specifically deceptive generative AI tools. It may be an easy go around when you aren't as well versed in graphic design, but it also has some negative impacts, and it is a drain on our resources. And as my neighbors in Loudoun can attest, it has a hefty impact on our environment when it comes to the data centers that are around us. Next, as we move deeper into the upcoming election cycle, we are maintaining heightened awareness around cybersecurity. Political organizations remain as high value targets for phishing attempts, account takeovers, and other forms of cyber intrusion. So this is our recurring reminder, because it does matter to make sure that you are using multi-factor authentication when you are accessing any information like through NGP, VAN, ActBlue, or accessing any of your Google accounts, accessing any social media accounts, anywhere that you might be communicating or sharing sensitive data, because those will be incredibly high value targets as we are moving into the midterms. We are also monitoring a growing shift toward mandatory age verification and identity verification processes. Most recently, Discord announced that they will require, or they were going to require, users to upload government IDs to utilize their service in order to communicate with one another. Therefore, tying your digital presence with your physical government presence. So please be mindful when you are using these services. There are broader surveillance concerns and security concerns, one of which that the identity verification service that they are utilizing is Persona, which is tied to Peter Thiel, who owns Palantir, who works with ICE. So those, yes. So all of those concerns, sharing your things like your ID, your passport, your social security number, any of those things can open you up to those kinds of unnecessary risks. But also there has been a growing, there has also had subpoenas from the DOJ to Google, Meta, Twitter, X, and other online companies, digital companies. They have tried to subpoena people's records to tie their accounts to their government identification. So please be aware. So first, we would like people to consider more secure communication tools other than like things like WhatsApp, which is owned by Meta, and other things along those lines. Signal is a great one. If you don't use that, that is a end-to-end encryption. Secondly, be thoughtful about what is posted online, because if your name is going to be tied to it, it probably is going to be able to be searched that way. Third, make sure that organizers and other democratic committees understand their digital rights and responsibilities. You do have First Amendment rights, obviously, but those end some places with digital platforms, as those are privately owned companies and not government entities. And fourth, also please stay engaged in policy debates around things like the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, which is going through Congress right now. That is a bill that would make it mandatory for all online platforms to demand identity verification, either through face scan or through government IDs. So that is therefore tying your, like I said, your digital presence with your physical presence. So those things are going through as well. But as lastly, Ricardo is also working on the ballot system for the Virginia Young Democrats convention at the end of this month. This is a system that he has been developing for the past 6 years, and it is a crucial portion of the Young Democrats reorganization. It's something that we're trying to make sure is adopted by other committees as well. So that is something we are working towards for reorgs, so that we don't have to rely on things like election buddy and how incredibly expensive it is all the time. So please be on the lookout for things around that. And as always, technology increasingly underpins nearly every part of our political organizing. And our focus remains on making sure that the Democratic Party of Virginia has the systems that are secure and effective and capable of making sure that you guys are organizing. Yes.
Could you talk about the new security concerns about TikTok?
Yes. So TikTok was recently purchased by Oracle, which is owned by Larry Ellison. So Larry Ellison is obviously a huge donor to Trump. He is also working really closely with the Trump administration as well. So even though we have dodged a metaphorical bullet with the Chinese government concerns that we had with data privacy, we've now gone into a new concern with the US government being able to access that. Right now, across all these platforms, DHS is monitoring people who are critical of ICE, people who are critical of the Trump administration, and they're trying to get more records on those people. So when you are, making valid concerns public, or you are, locking criticisms, just know if you make it a little too, for lack of a better term, fiery, that could come back and bite you. We saw that a few years ago here in Richmond, where a local activist posted something when a right-wing provocateur was going to talk at the Omni, and he was arrested and put in jail in Henrico for posting a joke on Twitter. So just know that even if you think that what you're saying is harmless, it is going to be an issue. Yeah.
Provide the information that you're sharing with the county, so we have it, we can share it with our.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that for sure.
Isaac.
Just my usual end of meeting reminder, CD chairs, please give me your rosters. These are especially useful this particular meeting because between now and of course the Q2 meeting, the referendum will happen. Stay tuned for updates from Brenner, Nick, Dominic, myself about your new rosters and all of your new friends and neighbors that you will be sitting with at the next meeting as we play musical CD committee chairs. So that is all I have. Please come to me after the meeting with the paper rosters, and thank you all. It's been a privilege in the current composition of the Central Committee. We'll see what the summer holds for us.
Again, thank everyone for coming. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
See, I believe there's a motion. Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor express by saying aye. Those opposed have the same right. Meeting is adjourned.